Hello there, everybody. I hope you've all had a wonderful work week. So there's a classic episode of the 90s sitcom Seinfeld where Jerry's trying to rent a car, and they tell him, they don't have a car for him. He says, but I had a reservation. The customer service agent then says, well, we still don't have a car. Jerry says, but that's what the reservation is for. It keeps the car here. And the customer service rep says, I know what the reservations are for, to which Jerry says,
I don't think you do. If you did, I'd have a car. So you know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold the reservation. And that's really the most important part of the reservation, the holding. Anybody can just take them.
Well, it seems that today's marketing and legal departments for some of the biggest social media platforms on the internet, they're not on the same page, and one of them hasn't kept their reservations or the car there when it comes to the new terms and conditions, when it comes to the way they're using our content to train AI learning models. Now, back in late June of this year, it was Adobe that got into hot water about their use of AI to scrape content and use it for their learning models, and how they altered their terms and conditions as a result. In early June, Meta, it went through a similar challenge when it changed its terms of its privacy policy to include the use of customers' data in AI learning models. And in August of last year, it was Zoom that stepped in it with not clarifying their use of AI in the usage of users' content and updated their terms and conditions in kind of a ham-fisted way. So you would think that by this point, companies would have learned how to manage, if not the rollout of the new terms of service, at least it would change the optics of it about how they communicated it to customers. You'd think wrong. LinkedIn this week, it came under fire for automatically opting its users into a program that uses their data for training generative AI models. First reported by 404 Media, it has created, a bit of a controversy, as my friends in London might say, among users who were unaware of the change. But is this fuss warranted? Do we really care that LinkedIn is going to use our content on LinkedIn to make LinkedIn more, LinkedIn-y? Or is it like my wife might argue when I get into trouble for, not doing the thing? She'll say, that's not the point. It's not the thing, it's the principle of the thing. P.S. She's right. She's definitely always right. Anyway, you want to hear more about the principle of the thing when it comes to LinkedIn taking your data and content and training its learning model? Yeah, let's click on comment, give it a thumbs up, and start our retort. Yeah, let's roll. Hello, everybody. Robert Rose here with What's New in Marketing. It is about what's new in marketing, but most importantly, it's something important in marketing that we think may help you become a better leader. And if we can help you or your team with content marketing services, including custom training or consultation or ongoing implementation of your content marketing program, come on over to contentmarketinginstitute.com, fill out that form, and let's just talk about it on a Zoom call. So on Wednesday of last week, LinkedIn users began to notice a new setting that showed that LinkedIn was using user data to improve its generative AI capabilities. According to 404 Media, the outlet that broke the story, it says that LinkedIn then commented and said it would update its terms of service, quote, shortly. Indeed, the terms of service were shortly updated and now include many of the big company sort of legalese as, let me just use my best big pharma side effects voice to say that they will, quote, improve, develop, and provide products and services, develop and train artificial intelligence AI models, develop, provide, and personalize our services, and gain insights with the help of AI, automated systems, and inferences so that our services can be more relevant and useful to you and others, end quote. Which, if I may basically translate, it says, we're going to try and make things better and teach computers to make our services more useful for you and other people. But the problem doesn't seem so much the fact that they added this capability or even that they made it opt out instead of opt in, though we'll get to that part. The problem is that they seem to have updated the terms of service after they'd already started to do it. As TechCrunch reported, it seems that LinkedIn has been scraping much of this data before it even updated its terms of service. So, what is going on between legal, marketing, and corporate communications in these organizations? I continue to fail to realize how these things are not better coordinated. Even with a company the size of LinkedIn, Zoom last year, then Meta, then Adobe, they all went through this. Aren't the lessons learned? Aren't they known to these folks by now? You see, it's not that they're using the customer data. I think most people would assume that at some point, all companies are going to do this. It's inevitable. It's the optics, the communication, all of that to their existing and loyal audiences, the blundering that seems to plague these companies about how they're managing a brand message. Anyway, I'll come back to that in a minute. As for LinkedIn and using the data, well, you may have missed it because LinkedIn was really quiet about this, but the other news is that you'll notice that the ham-fisted AI prompts that appeared under LinkedIn posts as suggested comments, well, they're now gone. They pulled those out. It seems clear that LinkedIn heard the clamor from users about how ridiculous these prompts were, and they removed them. And this new move seems, well, like it's trying to make the platform smarter or better or more engaging so that they can add newer, better versions of that back in, or maybe do something really incredibly new and interesting. Also, I may be missing something here, but I'm wondering, what is it that all of us that post on LinkedIn, what are we worried about? I mean, are we adding to the LinkedIn learning model? Isn't the whole point of LinkedIn content that we kind of want everybody to see it, learn from it, value it? Wouldn't anything that helps us shape the ultimate content to our point of view about the world, in other words, teaching LinkedIn, to be a net positive thing? I mean, I get it. Personal family pics of kids, our homes, private messages to our family, all of that we put on maybe Facebook or Instagram or those kinds of I get it. I totally get it. But isn't LinkedIn a little different in terms of what content we're putting there and what we're putting on about ourselves? Or am I missing something? Meanwhile, the lesson for us all here is that this is inevitable. Using our platform and our content to help this platform learn how to engage more deeply, utilize it more heavily, well, it's inevitable. Today, it's Netflix, it's Adobe, it's Google, Meta, LinkedIn. Tomorrow, it's your business software suite, it's your airline, it's your favorite hotel chain, it's your bank, it's your healthcare provider. It's inevitable. Let's just hope that these companies can finally learn the lesson and actually coordinate a bit of their content and their message a bit better. As we've said for years, 90% of an intelligent content strategy has nothing to do with the content you make. It's the coordination and the collaboration of how you communicate to the world. So maybe, just maybe, perhaps like using a daylight savings time date to change out your smoke alarm batteries every 6 months, maybe we should set our alarms. Every time a platform changes its terms of service, we should see if our content strategy is still communicating to the world the way we want it to. And that is its own story behind the data because it gets to, what we're trying to do here on LinkedIn. For now, that's a few minutes of what's new in marketing. Remember, it's your story to tell. Go find it on LinkedIn. Maybe AI will tell it, and then you can tell yours. Well, I'll see you next week.